So the ideal client for SculpSure is basically somebody that's been trying, eating healthy, working out, and has ended up with the last kind of pocket of fat or space here that they just can't seem to tone, or no matter how hard they try. So those are really the best clients. Somebody that's already taking care of their health and really working on themselves, but you know, sometimes no matter how hard you try, there's just that last bit that you can't get rid of. Those are the best SculpSure clients. So the realistic results that you can expect from SculpSure is a 25% fat reduction in the area that we treat. So what this is it is a guaranteed 25% fat reduction where your lymphatic system will flush out those dead fat cells. But you do need to be realistic and keep up with your health and nutrition, because we can melt as much fat as we want, but if you keep adding more fat from an unhealthy lifestyle, then you won't see a difference. You're adding on negative onto a positive. So the realistic results also is not a number on the scale. It's not a weight loss. It's in inches. It's a reduction of fat in the area we treat. So you will see smaller in the area, less inches, everything like that. So it's kind of your realistic results. So with SculpSure, we don't require you to be on some crazy diet, fitness plan, anything like that. We just need you to stay like keeping yourself healthy and pay attention to what you're putting in your body and what you're doing every day, because that's going to help your lymphatic system flush out the dead fat cells. If you don't help yourself, then you're not going to get the best results. So like I said, there's no crazy fad diet or anything insane that we're going to ask you to constantly be doing while you're doing this treatment. You just really need to pay attention to what you're putting in your body and your daily activities so you can get the best results out of what you're paying for. So we have dietitians, naturopaths, and personal training here at Sparkle. So we really like to include that with the SculpSure treatment. So you may need to get on a plan with one of our awesome qualified ladies on staff that will help you with that. And it is covered under most healthcare programs. So check under dietitian, naturopath, so that can be covered as well. And then maybe you're coming here for one of our fitness programs, health nutrition, with one of our professionals, and you just have that last little bit left, and that's where like the SculpSure comes into play. And we have programs that encompass both the SculpSure and the diet, fitness, and like food planning to help you along the way. We're not just going to do one and leave you on the wayside. So we really like to combine all of it so you're going to be the happiest, get the best results you possibly can out of it. So SculpSure can be done pretty much on almost every part of the body. One treatment includes the 4 packs. So whether you're going to do your stomach, your inner thighs, your flanks, and you can do that in many different combinations. If you just do 3 here, 1 here, or let's say 1 on each arm, there are so many different ways that you can treat the trouble areas. So one of these packs, basically, that's how it gets hooked in for whatever area you're doing, and the 4 is 1 treatment. So we can do up to 3 treatments in one day. So if you want to do, say, 4 on one flank, that's 1 treatment, and then 4 on the other flank, that's a 2nd treatment. And like I said, we can do up to 3 in one day as a continuous treat to complete sort of system.
Explain that.
So we like to do, like I said, maximum 3 treatments in one day, like the 3 sets of 4 in one day, because your lymphatic system can only flush out so much at one time. So if you do too much, you're not going to get as good of results. So that's why we really like to limit it to maximum 3 in one day. We like to treat to complete here. It does do a 20 to 25% reduction of the fat in one area. So say you're just treating here, but the flanks also really bother you, that sort of thing. We want to do all the areas that bother you in one treatment. So we can do a whole treat to complete around your waist or legs or anything. And part of what treat to complete means is it's not just one treatment, then see you later, I'll never see you again. We want you to come in for a 2nd treatment and sometimes possibly a 3rd. That's when you're going to really see the best results. These are done 6 weeks apart. So you would do your first treatment, then 6 weeks later do your second treatment, and then if you wanted to do a third, continue on like that. And when you see your best results from the final treatment, because it does take time for the lymphatic system to flush out the fat cells, is 12 weeks after your final treatment is when you see the very best results. So we'll have you come in, we'll take your final photos, and we can really compare side by side the big difference that we've made in that time. So the difference mainly, I'm sure you've all heard of SculpSure and then also Cool Sculpting. What's the difference? Which one do I go for? So here we go. Basically, they both kind of have the same results. You're going to get a certain percentage of fat reduction. But with Cool Sculpting, the difference is you can only treat a smaller area at one time, which is about 3 of our pod size instead of the full 4 pod size. The cold, the freezing, the cryogen can cause some numbing, bruising, possible lumps in the skin that you have to work out over time. It can be a little more painful during the process, and it's more specified to the exact area you have their packs. It's not as kind of spread out evenly as the SculpSure is. So although you do get the same results, you're looking at a longer treatment time, where this is 25 minutes. The Cool Sculpting is normally around 40-45 minutes. Possible more pain, numbing, bruising, just a little more negative after effects in the feeling during the treatment. So this is a lot more comfortable, less time, same results, and spreads out a lot more evenly. And especially if you're going to do multiple areas, like talking about treat to complete, it takes a lot longer and a lot more irritating to do with the Cool Sculpting. So SculpSure, how the treatment feels when you're doing it, it's slightly uncomfortable but totally bearable. Basically, what it does is it starts up with this preheating. So it's going to go up and up and up, and it's going to start to feel hot, uncomfortable, to this point where you're like, and then it cools down, it drops. And if any point you're worried, oh my God, this feels hot, if we were to remove the pod off your skin and touch your skin, it's actually cold. It's got a cooling crystal on it. So the heating you're feeling is deep down. So it's actually completely safe for the skin. So you're gonna feel these waves where the initial buildup is gonna go up and up and up. And then right when you think, oh, maybe this is a little too much, boom, it's gonna drop. And then during that 25-minute process, it's gonna kind of go up and down, up and down. And yeah, it's really not that uncomfortable. You have your moments, and then it goes right back down. So the differences between liposuction and SculpSure, basically liposuction is a lot more invasive. It's a surgical treatment where you do need downtime. You do generally get about a 70% fat reduction, so it's still not even 100% fat reduction with the liposuction compared to our 20 to 25%. But the SculpSure is non-invasive, no downtime, and it's really meant for stubborn areas. Liposuction is more meant for somebody that has a lot of fat mass, that is really looking to, lipo their arms, stomach, bum, thighs, that have a lot going on. We're more for the stubborn areas where we can really help you reduce those with a really non-invasive treatment, where, like I said, liposuction is a little more invasive, downtime. Comparable to cost is kind of the same depending on how many SculpSure treatments you get and how much liposuction and what body parts you're getting. So, I mean, that can be more expensive or around the same depending on what you're really looking for. But this is not a be-all, end-all for somebody that is unhealthy, overweight. This is really for stubborn areas where you're really trying to fix those trouble areas that you want to get gone. So if you are looking into coming here for SculpSure and say you're wanting to do your arms, your stomach, your bum, your thighs, everything, then maybe that's when you need to start looking more into lipo or a really good meal plan. Otherwise, you're just going to be treating multiple areas. That's kind of where another bit of the difference lies between SculpSure and liposuction. So one of the reasons why we're really big into nutrition and lifestyle change is also because we do have a lot of women, even men, that come to us that have had a tummy tuck, or especially women that may have had a C-section and they have the scar, and fat is actually trapped in that area, and it's really hard for them to get rid of that no matter how much exercise they do. So we want like a fully encompassed like nutrition plan, everything, and that's when SculpSure really comes into play for those last really hard bits to get rid of. Even if you've had a tummy tuck liposuction, this is going to get rid of that last little bit that's still sitting there, so you're not going to have to go back and get another surgery and more invasive and more downtime. This is when we really come into play as well. So we really want our clients to see and get success out of this treatment. So that's why it's really a lifestyle change as well. It's not this impossible, incredible change that you need to make, but just small things in your lifestyle that are really going to help you get the best results, your money's worth, your time's worth, everything, the effort you put into it. So that's what we really need to pair it with, is a really good, nice like lifestyle change. So you see everything that you want to see from it, from everything you're investing in it. And sadly, we do have a lot of clients that are coming to see us that have had liposuction and have gained weight back, because they aren't taught at the doctor's office when they get liposuction how to deal with their nutrition, lifestyle, how to eat right, maybe why you're eating wrong or what you're eating wrong, or little changes can make the biggest difference. So this is really great for those people too that have gone and tried to get this quick fix at the doctor and then weren't taught how to take care of themselves afterwards. So we really encompass that. We'll help you with the last little bit with SculpSure, and then we're also going to help you take that, keep your results, and bring it further with the nutrition and lifestyle. Okay. So the reason why we decided to bring in the SculpSure to Sparkle is because Sparkle was actually founded on a basis of nutrition, fitness, personal training, diet, and all of that. So the SculpSure really comes into play for somebody maybe after pregnancy, or who has been doing one of our fitness plans, working really hard and just has that last stubborn area. So we can actually legitimately kill those fat cells and flush them out of the system for that last part of your program to really help it along and give you the results you're looking for. So we really came from that health, nutrition, fitness start. And we've moved into the medical aesthetics world with all the lasers and everything. And this is where the SculpSure kind of came from, to give our fitness nutrition clients that last little boost that they may need, because we saw a need for it. And this is really what's been helping our clients kind of get to that like next level at the end of their progress.